I'm Andy. I teach mythology and folklore. Welcome to Tantalizing Myths. Today we come to the inevitable content disclaimer and warning. I include this warning in all of my mythology syllabi because of the nature of what we're talking about, but I'll throw in a story too. As part of my graduate studies, I took a course on Ovid's Metamorphoses. Those familiar with Ovid are already nodding, having an idea of what's coming. As part of our coursework, pairs of students took turn leading the day's discussions for the various stories we read. Now, Ovid is, well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, full of sex. Most of it the kind where consent is not freely given, where consent can't even be spelled. It's mostly gods with their obvious power advantage forcing themselves upon mortals, and not just male gods forcing themselves onto mortal women. Female deities also got in on the action with their boy toys. We were coming to the end of the term, and after reading literally dozens of these stories, I was weary. I was tapped out. I was just sick of the rampant debauchery, the unequal treatment, and how it seemed like the thing the Roman gods had in common with one another is their desire and their follow-through on assaulting mortals and then transforming them afterwards. Then we came to the story of Pygmalion. In brief, since I will cover this story more in depth later, Pygmalion saw his town devolve into debauchery and he couldn't find a good woman. So he sculpted one and prayed to Aphrodite to bring it to life. Aphrodite granted his prayer. Thus was born Galatea in the likeness of Aphrodite herself. It was a good story, a real happily ever after. Some of you can already sense that this story is about to turn. Yeah, though I will apologize in advance for incepting this particular thought in your minds. In class that day, two classmates led off the discussion of Pygmalion with the question. Pygmalion literally created Galatea. She is basically his daughter. So is this incest? The class went silent for moments. Everyone was stunned. And then I spoke up. This entire term, we've been reading stories of assault, injustice, and just malicious pettiness. We had Pygmalion, and I thought, finally, a decent story. And you just ruined it for me. It was good-natured. I was good-natured about it, so there weren't any hard feelings, and we had a really interesting discussion. But the fact remains, these stories are triggering. Most of them are traumatic. While diving deep can mitigate some of that, it can also make it worse. So I have to offer a blanket warning about the content of these stories. If you are sensitive, for whatever reason, take care when watching these videos and reading these stories. I will always try to keep this an academic discussion, and any attempts at humor are not to make light of trauma, but to prevent us all from falling into despair as we read through these. I think these stories are important, both for what they tell us about people in history and what we can take from the stories today. Nevertheless, an innocent-seeming story, like with Pygmalion, can have sudden and surprising content that isn't obvious at first. So consider yourselves duly warned. Oh, and the little "because Greeks" cake in the thumbnail was a gift from some of my students to me. It became our class slogan as we dove through how weird some of these stories were. But we also had some great insights into their meaning. I hope to see you again on Tantalizing Myths.